Good morning, my dear students. I am Basma Taiman from Palestinian School in Doha. I'm going to explain your English lesson today. Please follow with me.
Now, my students, let's continue our unit at the market with period 5. At the beginning, let's listen to this audio.
27. Unit 3. Period 5 and Period 6 Language Presentation. I'd like tomatoes, please.
That's 4 dinars. I'd like biscuits, please.
That's 3 dinars. I'd like potatoes, please.
That's 8 dinars.
Now, let's do activity number 1. But before that, let's read the following bubble. I'd like potatoes, lemons, and chicken, please. As I told you before, we use I'd like to ask for things in a polite way when we are at the market. I'd like, it means I want or I need, but in a polite way. Now, my students, you can see here some bags. Can you tell me, what can you see in these bags? In the first one, A, what can you see? Yes, you can see some carrots, potatoes, and onions. In the next one, B, what can you see? Yes, good. You can see bananas, chocolate, and biscuits. Very good. In the next one, C, what can you see? You can see bananas, tomatoes, and apples. Very good. Now, in the last 2 bags, what can you see? Yes, there are some chickens, potatoes, and lemons. Very good. Now, my students, listen to the following audio and find the bag they are talking about. Then write how much does it cost in the space.
Period 5, Activity 1. Listen. Find and write. I'd like potatoes, lemons, and chicken, please.
That's 20 dinars. I'd like potatoes, carrots, and onions, please.
That's 15 dinars. I'd like bananas, biscuits, and chocolate, please.
That's 18 dinars. I'd like bananas, tomatoes, and apples, please.
That's 17 dinars.
Very good. Now, I will play the audio again. Please check your answers.
Track 28, Unit 3, Period 5, Activity 1. Listen. Find and write. I'd like potatoes, lemons, and chicken, please.
That's 20 dinars. I'd like potatoes, carrots, and onions, please.
That's 15 dinars. I'd like bananas, biscuits, and chocolate, please.
That's 18 dinars. I'd like bananas, tomatoes, and apples, please.
That's 17 dinars.
Excellent, students. Thank you. Now, please listen to the following sentences and try to say them again.
Unit 3, Period 5, Activity 2. Listen and say.
I'd like potatoes, carrots, and onions, please.
I'd like bananas, biscuits, and chocolate, please.
I'd like bananas, tomatoes, and apples, please.
I'd like potatoes, lemons, and chicken, please.
Here you can notice that we don't use and between all the words. For example, we can't say, I'd like potatoes and carrots and onions, please. So instead of that, we use comma. Also the next example, I'd like bananas, biscuits, and chocolate, please. We can't say, I'd like bananas and biscuits and chocolate, please. I'd like bananas, tomatoes, and apples, please. Also, we can't say, I'd like bananas and tomatoes and apples, please. It's wrong to say that. Instead of that, we use comma. I'd like potatoes, lemons, and chicken, please. Also here, we can't say, I'd like potatoes and lemons and chicken, please. So we have to use comma. We use and only one time in the sentence. Now please try to say the following sentences in these bubbles. I'd like bananas and oranges, please. That's 12 dinars. Now my students, here we have a dialogue between Mr. Nader or the shopkeeper and Walid, the customer. Please try to act it with one of your brothers or sisters or maybe a friend. Mr. Nader, what would you like? Walid, I'd like potatoes, carrots, onions, and lemons. Mr. Nader, here you are. Walid, thank you. How much is it? Mr. Nader, it's 19 dinars. Walid, Here you are, Mr. Nader. Thank you. Again, please try to act it with one of your friends or a brother. Don't forget, in line number 2, we used and only one time. So I can't say I'd like potatoes and carrots and onions and lemons. It's wrong. Instead of that, we use commas. I'd like potatoes, comma, carrots, comma, onions and lemons. Don't forget to write this dialogue in your notebook. Now, my students, let's finish our unit at the market with period 6. In activity number 1, we have a list of kinds of food. Can you read this list? Apples, onions, grapes, potatoes, chips, ice cream, biscuits, tomatoes, carrots, chicken, and fish. Here, you have to choose some of kinds of food from this list and write sentences in the spaces about the things that you like and the other things that you don't like. Write about yourself. Take 2 minutes to do it. Now, I'll give you an example. For example, you can say, I like grapes. I don't like apples. I like chips. I don't like biscuits. I like ice cream. I don't like chicken. Good job. Now, my students, if you notice here, you can see the same kinds of food in the list in activity number 1. But here you have to write the cost of each kind of food next to the picture. Please take 3 minutes to count and write. Now, let's check your answers. Number 1. I'd like apples, carrots, and fish. How much is it? 4, 3, and 9. That's 16 dinars. Number 2. I'd like onions, potatoes, and ice cream. And that's 15 dinars. Number 3. I'd like chips, chicken, and tomatoes. And that's 13 dinars. Number 4. I'd like grapes, biscuits, and ice cream. And that's 19 dinars. Good job. Now, my students, let's read the following sentence. I'd like potatoes, chicken, and onions, please. Is to copy this sentence in your copybook within 4 lines. Please write neatly. Thank you.